what do you see as the kind of being the main challenges at the moment of kind of doing your kind of work in, you know, something like a prison, which is kind of such a total institution, and so kind of almost, you know, almost the worst place to try to do this work, but also the place where it's most needed?
I think the challenges tend to be more systemic. It's kind of the practicalities of being able to do this work. How much of this work can you do? Everyone uses the terminology trauma-informed. We use that now because this is what everyone's familiar with, but we use therapeutic processes. And you have to be very bounded and very careful with how much you open up a person if they're going back to their cell, especially when now we're thinking about COVID and, you know, going back to your cell, you potentially can be in your cell for 23 hours a day. I mean, anyway, but pandemic, it kind of amplifies that. So I think it's very difficult to do the work. We can become a very secure and healthy attachment for young people to help them process some stuff and get them through the system. When we work with officers that understand what we do and prisons that understand what we do, it can be incredibly easier to do this work and we can process stuff. But at the end of the day, the prison institute, so not necessarily the people, but the institute, it's punitive. It's about punishment, and punishment causes harm and harm causes trauma. So I've been having a lot of debates with myself, within my team, with Charlie and Katuna, who I love, by the way, and I'm hoping you're watching. You're amazing. You know, we have a lot of these debates around where is our place. If we think prison is a bad thing and prison is trauma-inducing, are we feeding into the beast by being a part of the system? And I think what we've been starting to do within my team, especially my board, we think a lot about what could alternatives look like. If we're now thinking about what's the next 10 years of 507, the next 10 years of 507 might be us coming out of the prison estate in order to stay authentic to our value system and come back in the community and think about what are the alternatives, because there's already a lot of kind of process and progress being made, especially taking children out of the criminal justice system. But the ones that tend to stay in are the ones that are kind of more violent, or we can get all the non-violent ones out. But I'm interested in, okay, so what do we do with the violent ones? How can we get rid of children in prison? How can we stop sending children to prison for life? Because after 5 years, they're not really getting too much out of these, you know. After 10 years, they're definitely not getting anything out of these sentences. You know, we're probably detriment to society by these long sentences. So I'm really doing some soul searching and some kind of critical analysis around where's our place? What is the work that we're doing?